The foundation for an Amish marriage is laid long before a young man and woman ever exchange a glance. It begins in childhood, in the warm, bustling heart of the Amish family. An Amish home is a world unto itself, a microcosm of the larger community and the bedrock of their culture. From their earliest moments, children are not raised in a vacuum of individualism, but are woven into the intricate fabric of family life. They are surrounded by a symphony of purposeful work, a rhythm of chores and responsibilities that are essential to the family's survival and prosperity. A young boy learns at his father's side, his small hands mimicking the seasoned movements of farming, of woodworking, of caring for the livestock. He learns that his contribution, however small, is vital to the whole. A young girl learns from her mother, mastering the arts of the home, cooking, baking, sewing, gardening, and caring for her younger siblings. She learns that the domestic sphere is not a place of confinement, but a realm of immense productivity and skill, the very engine that keeps the family running. This early immersion in shared work teaches a lesson that is fundamental to the Amish worldview. Life is not about self-fulfillment in the modern sense, but about service, responsibility, and interdependence. The concept of Gelassenheit, a German word that is difficult to translate but encompasses ideas of yielding, submission, and self-surrender, is absorbed from the air they breathe. It is the quiet understanding that the needs of the group, the family, the community, the church, take precedence over the desires of the individual. This is not seen as a suppression of the self, but as the proper ordering of things, the path to a harmonious and godly life. Children see this principle lived out every day in the marriage of their parents. They see a partnership built not on grand romantic gestures, but on the steady, quiet rhythm of shared labor and mutual respect. They see a father who leads the family and a mother who manages the home, two distinct but equally important roles working in concert. This model of a functional, interdependent partnership becomes the blueprint for their own future marriage. It is not a distant, abstract ideal, but a tangible, daily reality. As Amish children grow into adolescence, their social world begins to expand beyond the immediate family, but it remains firmly within the orbit of the community. Their social life is centered around the church district, which is the cornerstone of Amish society. It is at youth group gatherings, typically held on Sunday evenings after the preaching service, that teenagers and young adults have the opportunity to mingle, to form friendships, and to begin the subtle, carefully observed process of seeking a life partner. These gatherings are not the free-for-all events of the outside world. They are chaperoned by the community's collective gaze, a gentle but firm boundary that encourages wholesome interaction. The activities are simple and communal, singing hymns, playing games like volleyball, and sharing conversation. It is in this setting that the first sparks of attraction may flicker. The period of adolescence, often referred to as Rumspringa, is perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of Amish life. Popular culture has often portrayed it as a wild, rebellious period where teenagers are encouraged to sow their wild oats in the outside or English world. The reality is far more nuanced and complex. The word Rumspringa literally means running around, and it signifies a time when a young person is considered to be of dating age and is granted more freedom from the direct oversight of their parents. It is a time for them to socialize with their peers and ultimately to make two of the most important decisions of their lives: whether to be baptized into the Amish church and whether to marry within the faith. For the vast majority of Amish youth, Rumspringa does not involve leaving the community to live a secular life. It is a period of increased social activity within the Amish world. It is the time for dating. However, the form this running around takes can vary significantly between different Amish affiliations. In the most traditional and conservative groups, it might simply mean being allowed to attend youth gatherings and to begin a formal courtship. In more progressive communities, some youth may acquire a car, wear non-Amish clothing, and experiment with activities common in the outside world, such as going to movies or listening to modern music. Yet even for these individuals, the pull of family and community is immense. The purpose of this period is not to push them away, but to allow them to make a conscious adult decision to embrace the Amish way of life. The high retention rate, estimated at 85 to 90%, is a testament to the power of their upbringing. They have been raised to believe that true joy and fulfillment are found not in the fleeting pleasures of the world, but in the deep, abiding connections of faith, family, and community. Choosing to be baptized is a public declaration of this belief, a commitment to abide by the rules or ordnung of their church for the rest of their lives. And it is only after making this commitment that one can seriously consider marriage. The process of courtship itself is a model of discretion and deliberation. It is a stark contrast to the public and often performative nature of dating in modern society. When a young man becomes interested in a young woman, he does not simply ask her out. The process is more subtle. He might offer her a ride home from a Sunday evening singing in his open-topped courtship buggy. Her acceptance of the ride is the first signal that his interest might be reciprocated. From there, the courtship is conducted largely in secret, at least in its initial stages. The young man will visit the young woman at her home, typically on a Saturday or Sunday evening after her family has gone to bed. He arrives late, after the house is quiet, and spends several hours with her, often just talking in the living room or kitchen. This secrecy is not born of shame, but of a cultural imperative to avoid pride and showiness. A public courtship would draw unnecessary attention to the couple, fostering a sense of individual importance that runs contrary to the principle of humility. It also provides the couple with a space to get to know each other on a deeply personal level, away from the prying eyes and opinions of their peers. They talk for hours, sharing their hopes, their dreams, and their understanding of the life they hope to build. This is the foundation of their relationship, long hours of quiet conversation, the slow and steady building of intimacy and understanding. The physical aspect of the relationship is strictly proscribed. Premarital sex is forbidden, and even displays of physical affection are kept private and modest. In some older and more conservative Amish communities, the practice of bundling or bed courtship was once common, though its prevalence today is often debated and varies widely. This practice involved the courting couple spending the night in the same bed, but fully clothed, and often with a wooden board placed between them. To the modern mind, this seems both scandalous and strange, but its original purpose was purely practical. In an era of unheated homes and long travel distances by buggy, it provided a warm and private place for a couple to talk late into the night. It was a testament to the immense trust placed in the couple's ability to maintain their virtue, a trust rooted in the powerful religious and social prohibitions against premarital intimacy. While the practice is far less common today, the principle it represented remains: the emphasis on building a connection through conversation and shared time rather than through physical intimacy. As the couple's relationship deepens and they decide they wish to marry, the process remains one of quiet deliberation. The young man must first ask the young woman's father for his blessing. This is a crucial step, a sign of respect for the family structure and the authority of the parents. Once the blessing is given, the couple does not immediately announce their engagement to the world. Instead, they keep their intentions secret for a time, sharing the news only with their immediate families. The formal announcement is a significant community event known as publishing. The publishing of the intent to marry happens during a church service, typically in late autumn, a few weeks before the planned wedding date. Near the end of the service, the deacon or bishop will stand and, without fanfare, announce the names of the couples who plan to be joined in matrimony. The moment is one of solemn significance, not of giddy celebration. It is the community's official introduction to the couple's commitment, a signal that these two individuals are now on a formal path toward creating a new family unit within the church. The congregation is then asked if there is any reason why the couple should not be married. This is not a time for dramatic objections, but a final, formal opportunity for any serious moral or religious impediment to be brought to the attention of the church leadership. With the publishing, the secret is out and the community swings into action. The period between the publishing and the wedding day, or Hochzeit, is a whirlwind of purposeful activity, a beautiful illustration of the Amish principle of mutual aid. The wedding is not planned by a professional coordinator or even solely by the bride's family. It is a community-wide endeavor. The wedding ceremony and the accompanying feast are almost always held at the home of the bride. This requires a tremendous amount of preparation. The house must be thoroughly cleaned from top to bottom. Often, rooms are repainted. The family's large horse-drawn wagon may be brought into the house, its wheels removed, to serve as a long table for the feast. The barn must also be prepared, as it will often host the overflow of guests for the meal. The bride herself is busy preparing for her new life. Central to this preparation is the sewing of her wedding dress. In keeping with the Amish emphasis on modesty and practicality, the dress is not the elaborate white gown of the English world. It is a new dress made from simple fabric and is typically a shade of blue or purple. The design is that of her traditional Amish attire, unadorned with lace or beads. The bride wears a black cape and apron over her dress for the ceremony and a white one for the feast that follows. This dress is not a one-time garment. After her wedding day, it will become her Sunday church dress. And in a poignant reflection of the Amish view of life's full circle, it is often the very same dress in which she will one day be buried. There are no engagement rings or wedding bands exchanged in an Amish courtship or marriage. Jewelry is seen as a form of worldly vanity, forbidden by the Ordnung. The commitment is sealed not with a circle of gold, but with a spoken vow before God and the community, a promise considered far more binding than any physical object. The groom's preparations are simpler. He will wear a new black suit, also sewn by his mother or the bride-to-be. It is identical in style to the suits worn by all the men in the church, distinguished only by its newness. He will also be growing his beard. For an Amish man, a beard is the symbol of marriage. He will remain clean-shaven until his wedding day, and from that day forward, he will never shave his beard again, though mustaches are forbidden as they are associated with the military. The beard is a public and permanent sign of his status as a husband and the head of a household. While the couple prepares, so does the entire community. The women of the church district gather in the days leading up to the wedding for a cooking bee, a marathon of peeling, chopping, baking, and roasting. An Amish wedding feast is a monumental undertaking designed to feed hundreds of guests, the entire church district, along with family and friends from neighboring districts. The menu is traditional and hearty. It often includes roasted chicken or turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, creamed celery, coleslaw, and a variety of cakes, pies, and other homemade desserts. The sheer scale of the preparation is a testament to the communal nature of the event. No single family could manage it alone. It is the hands of many working together that make the celebration possible. The wedding day itself, typically a Tuesday or a Thursday in November or early December, dawns with a sense of quiet, purposeful anticipation. These weekdays are chosen because they do not interfere with weekend church services. The autumn season is practical. It comes after the busy harvest is complete, ensuring that everyone in the agrarian community is free to attend. The bride's home is a hive of activity from before sunrise. The couple who will be married, known as the bridal couple, has a role to play even in the final preparations, a reminder that this day is not just about being celebrated, but about serving others. The wedding service usually begins in the late morning and is, in essence, an extended church service. Guests arrive in their buggies, the horses carefully unhitched and stabled. They file into the bride's home, where benches have been set up in the largest downstairs room, which has been cleared of all furniture. Men and women sit separately, as they do in their regular services. The bridal party enters, and the couple take their seats at the front, but there is no procession down an aisle, no giving away of the bride. The service itself is long, often lasting 3 to 4 hours. It consists of hymns, prayers, and a lengthy sermon delivered by a bishop or minister. The hymns are sung from the Ausbund, the ancient Amish hymnal. The tunes are slow, somber, and sung in unison without instrumental accompaniment. The sound is haunting and powerful, a chorus of voices joined in a centuries-old tradition of worship. The sermon is the centerpiece of the service. It is not a personalized story about the couple, but a deep and serious discourse on the biblical meaning of marriage. The minister will draw heavily from Scripture, reminding the congregation of the sanctity of the marital covenant, a bond created by God and not to be broken by man. He will speak at length about the responsibilities of the husband and the wife. The groom is admonished to love his wife as Christ loved the church, to be a provider, a protector, and the spiritual head of his home. The bride is counseled to be submissive to her husband, to be a helpmeet, and to manage her household with diligence and care. The language is direct and uncompromising. The couple is left with no doubt as to the seriousness of the vows they are about to take. After the long sermon, the couple is asked to stand. The bishop asks them a series of questions, confirming their intention to marry and their commitment to uphold the vows they are about to make. The vows themselves are simple and direct, spoken from memory.